Has anyone ever told you either have it or you don't? In this video, I'm going to go over 6 traits that people think come naturally, but they just don't, and they can be developed with practice and training. And the reason I know this is because none of them came natural to me. Confidence. Some people are just naturally confident. That's what everyone says. It's just simply not true. Confidence comes from doing the unfamiliar things over and over and over again. The first time you do something, you're a little nervous. The 10th time, you're getting the hang of it. And by the 100th time, people just think you're confident. If you want to sound more confident, there's words you should eliminate from your speech. Things like maybe, kind of, I think that. Those are signaling that you're not really sure of yourself. So if you are sure, don't say them. I catch myself using this language when I'm trying to avoid confrontation. Strong communication. Some people are just better with words. Strong communication is about removing words instead of adding them. I've always admired somebody who can take a really complex idea and state it very simply. Those individuals have learned how to organize their thoughts, slow down, and really think about what they're saying instead of saying the first thing that comes to mind. They've also learned that they should lead with the point instead of building up towards it. Here's 2 tips you can implement today to be a stronger communicator. The first is, like I said before, lead with the point. Don't bury the headline in your messaging. And the second one is, after someone finishes speaking, pause for 2 seconds. Don't immediately blurt out what comes to mind. This gives you time to think about what they said and how you want to respond, and it also makes them feel heard. Clear thinking. Some people just have sharp, logical minds. Clear thinking is a process. It's a discipline of organizing your thoughts logically before you speak or do something. It's extremely common for people to start reaching for answers before they even understand the problem. Clear thinkers are disciplined about starting slow at the beginning so they can move fast at the end. Here are 2 tips you can use to make sure that you're clearly thinking through a problem. The first one is practice first principles. Remove all the assumptions you've made about your idea or your business and really start to think, what do I actually know for certain, and what is the truth about this matter? And the second one is to separate what people's interpretations are from the facts. Interpretations are influenced by beliefs, biases, previous experiences, and then there's the facts of the matter. If you can separate those two, you focus on the facts and the truth, you'll move quickly and more clearly. Thoughtful questioning. Some people are just naturally curious and insightful. Good questions are prepared ahead of time. The best questioners know what exactly they want to say before they enter the conversation. They've done their research on the person, the company, and the reason they're there, and they're asking intentional questions. Thoughtful questioning is a 2-part skill. You need to first understand enough about the subject and prep enough on it so that you know what's missing. And then the second half is you have to be disciplined enough to ask the questions and not just assume the answers. This is where most people often get stuck because they're too embarrassed to ask the simple questions. Here's 2 tactics you can use to ask better, more thoughtful, intentional questions. The first is to replace statements that you would normally say with questions. So instead of saying, that wouldn't work, you would say, what would it take for it to work? And the third one is to use more what and how questions instead of why questions. Why questions can feel a little bit more threatening and interrogative, but they also can provide you really good insights if you have a great relationship with the person you're talking to. Decisiveness. Some people just naturally make decisions quickly and confidently. People think decisive people are fearless, and most often it's because they've made enough decisions that have gone bad, that they've survived from, that they are not fearful of making decisions quickly anymore. Most people have heard about Jeff Bezos talking about the one-way and two-way doors. These are reversible and irreversible decisions. If the decision is reversible, make it quickly. All you need to know is, are you 51% sure on this choice, and just go for it. One thing that really helps me is picking a deadline. So if that means it's the end of the day or the end of the week, the deadline's made and the decision's being done. If it's a smaller decision, maybe you set a timer for 30 to 60 seconds and you just pick at the end of the time. It's basically like the decision doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be made. Composure. Some people just don't get rattled. They're naturally calm under pressure. Composure is a practice response from discomfort. The more repetition you get, the more your nervous system becomes more level when there's a spike in your adrenaline. It's not the absence of feeling, it's just knowing that not every spark is going to be an emergency. Being composed doesn't mean you don't get nervous. It just means that you've had enough experiences in this particular environment that you know everything's going to be okay. The next time you get rattled, take a 5-second pause. Really try to internalize what exactly was it that got you so distressed and try to understand how it's creating an impact in your life. The next time you're feeling that fight or flight response, you want to take that 5-second pause, take a deep breath in, and just relax. After all the adrenaline and the emotions subsided, you need to do a debrief. You need to understand why it happened and what emotions you were feeling, and what does the composed version of you look like in that scenario. That way you can break down those events into actionable steps so that you can increase that composure over time. This is a gradual process. Nothing happens immediately. People think that these things are personality traits, and they're not. They're skills that you build by putting yourself into different situations over and over and over again. The people that you think are naturally good at them have just been put in more situations where they've had to work and train that skill. If you're someone like me who wants to improve on these skills, this is the first step in that journey. Do a little more research about the ones in particular that you want to work on and start practicing.